My conversation today is with Dr. Robert Reece, whose novel, To Tell the Truth, has recently been published. I want to start off by congratulating you on having written a page-turner. Why did you choose to write a fictional account rather than, say, a nonfiction account for the general reader?
I think the main reason was because the general reader is not going to read the scientific literature, and about the only time that the general public would be exposed to the medical literature in this would be if they happen to be on a jury and listen to testimony in the courtroom. Mm-hmm. And that's not the best way to get educated about this. The best way, I think, is to be drawn into the story of a case, and by that I think people will become more informed about what goes on in the diagnosis and management, but also in the courtroom.
So let's talk then about what it is you would like the public to become much more aware of.
So as my awareness of what was going on in the courtroom increased, I became more worried that the process is flawed in these kinds of cases. The process being flawed in that too often people who are not really experts are qualified by courts as experts. People who are, first of all, not clinicians, that is, they don't actually see and take care of these babies, but also they are what I call armchair experts. They're people who read certain pieces of literature, usually the kind of literature that supports their preconceived notions about these things. And then they come in and they testify. And there are a lot of different reasons why these people testify for the defense of these cases. I think some of them are truly interested that good defense arguments can be made. I think there's some who come in and do it because they get paid a great deal of money for doing expert testimony. I think there's others that think that they know more than the rest of us know about this. It's what I call hubris. And they have this feeling that they're the smartest people in the courtroom, and they want everybody to know that. And then you add into that the business about the judicial system itself. Judges are more apt to qualify somebody as an expert than to deny their qualifications because they feel that if they have an MD after their name, they are automatically experts. And that's a mistake, because if they haven't had actual hands-on experience taking care of these kids in hospital situations, they really don't understand the whole constellation of things that go into making the diagnosis and instituting treatment. There are many pathologists who testify as experts, and they see the outcome of these cases and they see the tissue at the autopsy, but that doesn't mean that they understand anything that went before, the history taking, the physical examination, and all of the different tests that are done to rule out other diseases that could mimic child abuse. And there are several, and most good physicians who do this work are sure to look at the possibilities and rule them out before they come to the diagnosis of child abuse.
Yes, and in your book, you make, the courtroom scenes, make a lot of this very, very clear to the reader. And it was also unsettling for readers to realize that, that we have some problems with our legal system, particularly this issue of paying for evidence, and sometimes it's very costly. We all have our favorite New Yorker cartoons about the legal system. In fact, I think we'll put on the screen my own favorite. The caption is, just how much justice can you afford? And in your book, you quote Robert Frost about the legal system, too.
You know, Robert Frost, long time ago, said that juries listen to the arguments given by the lawyers, and they vote who has the best lawyer.
Who has the best lawyer.
And I don't want to be too cynical about this, because I think that, as we were saying earlier, the judicial system is not good, but it's better than all the others. And I think it's important to emphasize the fact that it is a good system, but I think that we can make it better by making changes in the way we qualify people who claim to be experts. Well, I would like to see a situation in which medical societies and legal societies form panels, commissions, to look at the issues that have to do with the qualifications of expert witnesses. In these kinds of cases, I don't want to go beyond my area of knowledge. I don't know how easy that will be. There are many barriers to that kind of approach, but I think if we don't try, we'll never get a change made. I think getting doctors and lawyers together, responsible, sober, intelligent people, to look at this issue and to try to come to some mutually agreeable solution about how we qualify people as expert witnesses. I think that would go a long way to helping this problem.
Yes, I quite agree, and I would hope that that things, the information in your book will alert people to what is happening. I wonder on the issue of child abuse, whether or not in your work you have seen any attempt to try to deal with some of the causes and some sort of attempt at prevention.
Yes, there are attempts at prevention. There are different programs that have been instituted around the country. One is the home health visitor model. After a baby has gone home with mom from the hospital, a home health visitor will make periodic and frequent visits during the first several months of the infant's life to, first of all, check on the home to make sure that it's adequate, it's safe, that it has all the things that it needs, to be there for the parents to ask questions, to inform them of various kinds of opportunities that they might not know of for child care, for nutrition advice, nutrition support, WIC programs, for example, and many other kinds of prevention programs that are available. There's also a thing called the Purple Crying program that Dr. Ronald Barr has put together, and it has to do with the recognition by parents of the fact that children do cry, and they can cry a lot and can get people very tense and sometimes even angry. And what they should do when they're feeling this anger rising, how they should deal with their own emotions so that they don't take it out on the child. Now, these are good programs, and if we can get those instituted in a lot of different places. I think the other thing is, someone once said that if we had daycares more available, places that parents, when they're stressed, could take these babies or children to have someone else take them over for a couple of hours while they do what they have to do in the way of shopping and so on, that would be helpful. And the problem with all of this is that it costs money. And there's never enough money to take care of the problems I think that we need to look at in child care.
It's ironic, isn't it, that the most important role that we have is the role of being parents, and nobody teaches us how.
Someone said many times, have said that babies don't come with an owner's manual. And what I think we need to do is to recognize that young parents have no roadmap, especially first babies. They just don't know what to expect. And we need to do a better job of preparing them for parenthood. And we also need to do other things like more maternity leave and allowing parents to settle in with a new baby. That's very important.
Yes, and to make sure that caregivers are the appropriate people that proper caregivers are in charge of taking care of little ones.
Yes, I think it's really important that people investigate their child care people before they hire them. Now, that's not a foolproof business, obviously. You just don't know when somebody's going to lose their temper and do something really crazy. But that happens. But I think it's important that we equip parents to do a good checklist when they're hiring a babysitter or a nanny.
Yes. I wonder if you found it difficult after so many years with your writing, your editing of medical texts, the articles you've written for medical journals. Now, moving from medical discourse to fiction, was that difficult for you?
Yes, it was. I will not sugarcoat that. It was very difficult. It's a much different style of writing. When you're dealing with medical or any scientific data, you have to check every little tiny piece of information before you write something about it, and you have to test your hypotheses before you publish a paper. Fiction gives you a great deal more latitude, but you have to be careful there too, because you can't do outlandish things with your characters. They have to be credible, and they have to have reasonable personas, or they won't go over. So, and it's a completely different thing. And the idea of the arc of a novel is a much different kind of thing than when you're writing a paper.
True.
But I've enjoyed it, and I think one of the preparations for that has been I've been a lifelong reader of fiction and nonfiction, and I love to read, and that's helped.
How long did it take you to write To Tell the Truth?
I think about 2.5 years from the beginning of it, and then it underwent numerous alterations. As you've done some writing, so I know that you know this. Self-editing is really important, getting other people to read and make suggestions about how it could be made better. That's all part of the process. And then I finally got a real honest-to-goodness editor who helped me a great deal. Her name is Tracy Hart, and she did a great job of helping make me a better writer. So I credit her with a lot of help.
Now, we should let our viewers know how they can get a copy of this. So I'm hoping that our Marilyn Rowland, who is the genius in the studio, and also Tony, who is also instructing everyone. I wonder if they can get that on our screen so that viewers will know how they can publish, get a copy of the book from the from your publisher, or from Amazon, or from the local
bookstores. Eight Cousins has the book, and Mashpee Market Bookshop has the book. Books by the Sea over in Osterville has the book, and the you can go to Amazon, and I know that that's sort of another kind of ordering that the local bookstores may not like, but I want to get the book out there.
Sure.
So it's going to Amazon and just putting in To Tell the Truth or my name, Reece, usually will get you to the right place.
I think what is very important is that it seems to me that your reason for writing this is to get the message out that that changes need to be made in the way courtroom situations are managed, and so certainly I will be certainly a fan of yours, because I enjoyed reading it. I enjoyed reading it so much.